Stop. Before you clean your coin, you got to watch this video. It'll probably save you a major headache and probably a lot of money. Hey all, this is Frostbite. So over the last couple of weeks, I've seen a large number of videos about cleaning coins and what does it mean to clean a coin. And I've watched some people who had the right idea, who gave really good commentary about what the difference between cleaning a coin and conservation of a coin. Well, what I want to do is I actually want to give kind of a demonstration and show you guys the physical output of what it means to do restoration, the long, slow, painstaking process versus the quick cleans that you see on some of these YouTube channels where they take, toothpaste, a toothbrush, scrub the hell out of the coin, and voila, it's clean. So I want to kind of do a demonstration and talk about what it's not. And again, I am not for cleaning coins, but sometimes there are coins that need to be conserved, whether it be due to corrosion, whether it be to environmental, whether it has PVC on it, when there's a waxy coat, smoke damage, for instance. If you've had a fire and you're trying to restore some coins that were protected in a safe, but maybe suffered some smoke damage and things of that nature. Opening proof sets. Sometimes when you open a proof set, when you crack a proof set open, you get this white film and stuff on it. And so there are ways to do it. There's definitely ways to do it wrong. I'm going to show you two methods. Now, one is absolutely wrong and the other one's just a little bit more acceptable, but I don't recommend doing any of them. However, what I'm going to do is I got two Indian head pennies here. Now I'm going to change my camera and I'm going to show you these 2 cents. Okay. So first off, if you look at it, you can easily tell, that they've been cleaned. You can see that the fields have already been done. The coins are not in great shape, right? I got a 1901 and a 1902, but you can see that these coins have already been cleaned. So I'm not doing anything to these coins that somebody didn't already do ahead of me. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to take the 1901, which you can see, again, when you look at this, you can see, I'm going to turn another light on, get a little bit more visibility here. You can see how there's dirt kind of around inside the lettering, but the fields are clean. The Indian itself is pretty clean. I'm going to do conservation on this coin, and then I'm going to do the standard quick run-of-the-mill cleaning on this one. And so I'm going to do the standard run-of-the-mill cleaning first. Hopefully I brought enough napkins to do this. But basically what this is going to consist of is putting a little toothpaste on here. I'm not going to even use the brush. Okay, if you look down here on the bottom, you'll see, let me do this. Let me change the setting on this. So I'm not going to use the brush, but I'm just going to kind of show this here. So if you take this and you start doing this with it, right, and just really pushing hard, kind of getting that in there, really rubbing it off, right? And what you'll see is you can see how the coin starts to turn this kind of oddball, nasty color, right? And you can see that it's really getting in there and it's actually shining this thing up real nice and pretty. Okay. And when you're all done, I'm going to grab a tissue over here. When you're all done, make sure you rub it nice and well. You're going to see this coin. And it looks, you can still see how it's in there, but right, nice and easy, shiny. Everybody thinks, hey, this is a really good looking penny. Takes just a few moments. But it's got a really unnatural tone to it. It's got no luster anymore. It's very flat. And what I effectively did was by utilizing that and the really abrasive texture that's within the toothpaste, I've effectively scrubbed off the layer that is created by the mint when they stamp this. And this coin will never be worth more than a cent or two. I mean, just it's just not because people don't want to buy it in this. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do a little bit more conservation. And what I have here is if you look on this side, I have this little container. I've got a bunch of cotton swabs. And I've got another one here. I'm going to show you this coin here in a second. Okay. And I'll kind of talk to you about what I've been doing to give you a really good example. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil and I'm going to choose a section on this particular coin. So let's say we'll come down here to the date. Okay. This is a good area of focus for me to do. And I'm not going to be putting any pressure on this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put this here and kind of just let it sit for just a few moments. Now you can soak the coin if you want to. And again, as soon as I put this on there, you can see kind of that unnatural patina shine through from when this was cleaned earlier. But what I'm going to do is, and you'll see the Q-tip rotate, right? And I'm just going to gently, and I'm not putting any pressure on it. Okay. And I'm just kind of rubbing it across. And I'm going to do this in a couple different directions. Now, I am not putting any pressure on the Q-tip. It's barely touching the surface of the coin. And the reason that I'm doing this is because what I want to do is I just want the fibers within the Q-tip to just gently remove the top surface, that surface layer of, and I got toothpaste on my gloves, so now they're sticking together. I just want to remove that top surface there. And you can see that the Q-tip's already getting dirty, right? And so you're going to be going through a lot to do this. But coin conservation is something totally different. So coin conservation is a slow, painstaking process in which they very, very, very slowly and methodically remove layer upon layer upon layer upon layer until they get down to the original layer of the coin. They're not scrubbing it away. They're not removing the actual finish that's put on in the process of the minting of the coin, right? And so in this particular coin, it's already been done. Somebody had already actually cleaned this coin, but you can look at this Q-tip and see that it's getting pretty dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through real quick and just very lightly pull off some of that excess oil, kind of see where I'm at right now. And then I'm going to kind of bring this back into focus. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me take and dab this off real quick. Now, whenever you're doing this, if you're going to do this, and again, I am not condoning cleaning your coins. This is not something that I recommend. I would actually recommend if you're going to do it to send it somebody. But what I want to show you is if you can look at this coin, you can see very little change in the area around the date, right? But with the cleaning that I've done, there's no change in the tonal color of the coin. Okay. Now, why is that important? Well, because the layer that is still here around the numbers is still here. Now, the numbering is actually quite cleaner than it was before just a few moments ago. But if I want to get into the actual surface of that coin and remove it, I'm going to just continue to do this. And I'm going to repeat this process until I get a good effect. Now, I will say that there's a very high likelihood that I'll never remove every ounce of dirt or that toning that's there simply because that, and I got toothpaste on the coin because of these gloves. I'm going to have to change these gloves before I do the next one. And that's another thing. If you're going to be doing anything like this, change your gloves and change them often. But again, I am not condoning doing this. I just want to show you how slow and monotonous the process can be. Okay. Now, so when you look at this, and when again, I'm just going to kind of go through here and rotate that kind of through. And I'm not putting any pressure on this coin. This Q-tip is just gliding across the surface. Okay, and I'll go ahead and I'll dab this off. Not going to rub it, just dab it, right? Just a gentle touch on the surface of the coin. So I'm just pushing, right? I'm not scratching, I'm not rubbing, I'm just dabbing. Okay. You can pinch it if you want to, but don't pinch and rub. Oops. And then again, if you look at this, now you'll see that it's just a little bit cleaner. So you can see that the lines in between the dates have gotten smaller. So if I continue to do this, so if I rotate this coin this way and I proceed, there we go. Then what'll happen is I'm going to go ahead and use a different Q-tip. So again, I'm going to dip that in the oil, make a nice smooth surface. So I'm not using the harsh fibers of the Q-tip. And again, so you can see what it is right now, just a little line. And I'm going to focus on this area between the 0 and the 1. And I'm going to continue to move it. And I'm going to rotate it away from me. So I'm rotating the Q-tip away from me as to just get the fibers inside that. And it's going to force me to not be able to push down, but just nice and gentle. I want to just be rubbing that through like this. Okay. Now, again, don't do this with an expensive coin, please. Right? I'm not condoning cleaning. All I'm trying to do is give you a good usable example of the difference between what happened when I did this coin, and you can see how, I mean, it doesn't even look like an Indian head penny. I mean, this is what this is the color that it should be. And then you got this nasty, I mean, look at the difference, right? They stand out like a sore thumb. Okay. So what I'm just trying to do is just show you the difference. But I want to give you guys kind of an understanding when you talk about conservation of a coin, especially if you get into ancient coins where you're talking about museum quality. There's a lot of other stuff that they do. It's actually quite in depth. There are some things that they do with very, very, very fine bristle brushes. Um, these bristle brushes are so soft that they don't damage the surface of the coin. However, they do this repetitive enough that they're removing a couple molecules of dirt each time. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do is you never want to do it this direction because of the stick. You always want to keep the thing parallel to the coin surface. You can do it at like a 30-degree angle, but never go above 45. Simply because what'll happen is the tip of that Q-tip inside this soft cottony area is actually really hard. And if you push down, you can actually damage and scratch the coin, and you don't want to do that. So again, I continue just to rub this same general area in an outward motion. I'll come across the coin. I'll come towards me a little bit just to change the pattern and the way that the strike is happening. But again, remember, the only thing I've touched on this coin is the date. I haven't done the rest of the coin, the back, anything else, just the date. And we're already, 10, 15 minutes into this video. So this is a very long and cumbersome process. And I want you guys to understand the difference between, what it means to quote unquote clean a coin versus conservation. So I think we got a really good example of about a 70% solution on this. I'm going to go ahead and tap this off again. And again, you just squeeze it. You don't push down, just a nice gentle squeeze. Okay. Now, when you're done with these, I recommend you don't leave the oil on. You're going to want to rinse them off, um, and use a very, very soft cloth when you do that. Don't leave the water on very long. Some people talk about using acetone and things like that to cause the surface of the coin to dry quicker. I don't recommend doing that. I think it's dangerous to do that. But if you look at this now, you can see that that line within the date is even smaller. So if I continue, eventually I'm going to end up with a very clean, solid area, but it's not going to happen fast. It's going to be very, very slow. And I've only done, a 16th of an inch. I still got the rest of the coin to do. And I got the back. So when you're thinking about doing coin conservation, understand that it's going to take you, in many cases, hours, if not days of work. Now, I'm going to show you an example of something that I've been working on, preparing for this video. And this is a coin that I actually want to keep. It's a 1906. It's actually in pretty good shape. And as I show you this coin, you're going to see, now I've spent, no joke, about 5, 6 hours on this coin. Okay. And you can see on the sides, there's still some work that needs to be done, but you can see I've pretty much got inside this, and I've still got this entire side over here to do. Okay. I haven't even touched the back. The back, there's still so much to do on the back. I've worked over here, but I really haven't done anything else. And this is about 5 hours worth of work. I'm doing this on this particular coin because this is my daughter's birth year. And so I want to give her a really nice specimen, something she's seen me working on this. She knows the effort that I've put in, so it'll mean something to her. But this is not going to be something, there's damage on the edge of the coin. The coin's not worth a lot, but I want to just do a really good job and kind of show people what it means to conserve a coin versus to clean a coin. So I hope you guys have gotten a little bit from this. Now I'm going to put these side by side so you can see what I've done here. You can see there's a really nice luster, right? I haven't messed with the surface of the coin here at all. This coin was not previously cleaned. Um, but when I put the other coin next to it, look at the difference. Okay. Cleaned coin, not a cleaned coin. Now, technically a cleaned coin, but it's not been cleaned like most people think. Okay. So I hope this has been of benefit. Y'all take care, be blessed, and I will catch you in a couple days with another recording. Take care of yourselves, and keep on searching.